Greetings to you. Today we'll be continuing with our journey of studying the book of Proverbs. So yesterday was a kind of background, laid general background of the book of Proverbs. So today we want to look at chapter 1 of the book of Proverbs, which has the idea of wisdom's call to salvation as the general main focus of chapter 1. So the entire chapter 1, or the paragraph of chapter 1 in its entirety, it has three voices being put together that the person reading Proverbs needs to identify. And so the first voice is the voice of instruction, captured from verses 8 to verses 10 and from verses 15 to verses 19, which has the idea of a godly father urging his son to listen to wisdom and to obey what he hears from the father, because it is a godly father. And so there are a kind of do's and don't, and so the major emphasis here are the don'ts, that the son should try by all means not to jeopardize with them. The first one is the son should not walk with the crowd. Don't walk with the crowd. That is the idea. And the second is don't play with temptation. And the third one, don't disobey God by harming others. That is the idea backing up the point of the voice of instruction as captured in the entire chapter. So the second voice is the voice of temptation, which is from verses 11 to verses 14. What is there specifically? The idea is telling the son, that is the godly father now telling the son that, you see, son, you must watch out. Watch out in the sense that you don't fall into temptation. You must be careful with who you work together with as a friend, and then you must obey diligently the statutes of God so that you will not fall into temptation. That is just the idea. And so lastly, which is the third voice captured in the entirety of the passage or the chapter, is the voice of salvation, which is captured from verses 20 to verses 33. So it has the idea of how that wisdom speaks through creation, and that is reflected in Romans chapter 10 verses 18 and Psalm number 19 verses 1 to verses 4. And then talking about conscience again, that is also captured in Romans chapter 2 verses 14. So the idea of how that wisdom speaks, pointing to the idea of salvation, it bounces back to creation and conscience, which is all captured in Romans, which has to do with the writings of Apostle Paul. So we look forward to talking about chapter 2 of Proverbs, hopefully. And so this whole study